My names are Gladys Nakato Basusa Kigundu ni Mayanja. I was born in Namirembe Hospital, which now you call Mengo, in 1938. At 12:15, because I'm a twin, my brother was born at 12 midday. I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters, namely Mary, Ida, Rebecca, Patrick, James, Wilberforce, Mark and Ruth. My father, Nasanairi Salongo Mayanja, was a shopkeeper in Inakurabi. My mother, who was a teacher in Gayaza and previously Kabale schools, was in Bulange. Then she decided for us to stay in Bulange with her parents. So I grew up with my grandmother, Estelle Alemanya, who was a reverend's wife, and my uncle was an engineer, Sylvester Semakula, in Bulange, until I had to go to primary 1 because we had no nurseries during those times. It was a happy family. We used to tell tales. Grandma would give us songs. We would pray morning, afternoon and evening, and even give us hymns morning and evening. I know them all by heart in Uganda, in Jatula, as you call it. I started my primary school in Mengo Primary School. It was up to primary 6, not 7. Then I went to Gayaza High School, and I did my training until junior secondary 3. I didn't go to senior. Then in junior secondary 3, I applied for nursing, and I got a place in Mulago Hospital. So I joined in 1959. I did that diligently until 1960. I got the best practical nurse present, which won me a lot of presents in future, as we shall see. Then in 1962, I got a scholarship, Mengo scholarship, and then I went to UK, United Kingdom, in 1962, before independence. I went to Kent and Canterbury Hospital for my nursing experience. I did 18 months because if you were enrolled, you could have an exemption. So I had to do 18 months, and I became a registered nurse, SRN. Then after that, I went to Princess Harlow, Essex, and I got my first part of midwifery. Second part, I went to Barking, Essex, and I got a midwifery, which is SCM. So I was SRN, SCM then. My uncle was a medical doctor, Dr. A.K. Baya, and he was the first medical superintendent at Mulago Hospital after the Europeans left. So it was a great effort. We all got interested in the profession, and my sister went to Mengo and finished her course, and then joined tutoring, and she trained the nurses in Mengo midwifery schools and in Kabale. Then Ida, my next sibling, Ida Musoke, also did midwifery and nursing in Gombe Hospital, and that excited me a bit, so I got interested. My grandmother, loved one, the one I grew up with, died in 60. Then my uncle asked me to come with him, and we had to embalm the body of my grandmother. And I decided it was rewarding for the family, so I decided I would be a nurse thereafter. Nurse in Uganda, well, the speed impressed me. We were, really slow in Uganda. But when I went abroad, I found you had to be on your toes. The moment the bell rang, and this time the sister said, "Nurse, please come." So that was different. I thought it was quite necessary to come back and emulate and start teaching my own, because the Europeans came here and we learnt a lot from them. So I thought once we've gained that, we should come back and bring up our own without having to wait for the Europeans to come. Because I found that the nurses, if they saw a European saying sister, they would always ask, "Who is on duty?" It is Sister Mayanja. "Who is on duty?" Sister Hope. If it was Sister Hope, they would run. If it was Sister Mayanja, they would slow. So we had to bring that up and say a sister is a sister, matron is a matron, quick, up on your feet. And I think we improved that. And the government used to like us so much. When we came back, they gave us responsibilities and gave us posts and money. So we had nothing to long for. Coming back here meant that you had to pretend you were the nursing sister from UK, and that you had all the power, kindness, humbleness, and walk on your feet and teach others to do likewise.
Did you ever feel lonely about practicing as a nurse, and did you ever think, "I've had enough and I'll quit"?
I've never met that way at all. I've always wanted to be a nurse and to change others. And being beside the patient, bedside nursing, is really interesting. Nice to see people who have been down go up, who have been low, walking and going up away, happy. So your job, our nurses, our job is to emulate others and improve their health and go home, to see them go home. So it's quite interesting. I have never wanted to leave nursing at all. I came to do nursing, and I did it until I had to stop. The difference between a nurse and another profession is when you're a nurse, you even improve your marriage. If people had to say what they see in a nurse as a married lady, you would know what I mean. Because you are taught how to wash patients' head, bathe them. So you do this in your home. Your family gains a lot through having their hair washed, bed bath when they're not feeling well, shave. You do a lot as a nurse in the family. A nurse, once a nurse, you are born a nurse, you are going to die as a nurse. If you're on the bus and the lady is having labor, you have to branch off. And I once really delivered a person, Centenary Park. We were the taxi driver stopped, we went out, and I delivered the lady. And the simple thing that makes us tick is that we have to work with the scissors and a soft pin. So you could do that. If a lady wants childbirth, you just branch off and you can deliver them. You gain in your village. They need you. They need you in church. They need you in school. They need you in a market. Everywhere. Nurses are wanted, nurses are loved, midwifery is everywhere until you leave this world. If you can't do the job, you can preach, you can teach the others.
Just talk us through about the balance between being a nurse and a mother.
The mother, the nurse mother, helps a lot in a family. I think I said this before. Because you give them, you teach them, you balance their education and their first aid, because your children go through first aid at home and they are ready to face the world and the school and everywhere when they go. Because, as I said, midwifery is everywhere, nursing is everywhere, weddings, marketplace, you know. So you help them a lot being a nurse. I'd say nursing, we say it's a good patient that makes a good, it's a good patient that makes a good nurse. And the other way around, it's a good nurse that makes a good patient. If you're a good one, then she's eager to listen to what you are saying, and then she gets the medicine well and she can go home early. So you have to be humble, gentle, kind, and give them a smile. Then they will listen to you, then take the drugs, and they can go home. There's something that I suppose that you have to know. To be recognized as a midwife, you must have certain deliveries a year. Every year you have to practice. So as you see my age, I haven't been practicing for some time, but you can always get somebody and indicate. Even taxi drivers can really deliver. If you tell them, then push, don't push. Ask her to say, to count 10 up to 10, then push again. You can indicate to the others while you get a telephone nearby to have help. But the midwifery has that rule. You can't just go on delivering when you haven't been delivering for years. My name is Gladys Susana Tsigundu. I worked up to 1983 from my 62, and I enjoyed my work in Uganda and abroad. And I must thank the medical superintendent Mulago and the matron-in-chief who allowed me to work and become a matron up the time I retired. And they gave me a chance to go for a conference in Switzerland for 2 weeks during my work. And I saw the other world, and I got the experience, and I took notes. And then again, I must thank the chief nursing officer through my period of work, who selected me to go with the then Bishop Dunstan Nsubuga, rest in peace, to Germany for his treatment. And I had to be selected. And that gave me an applaud and lifted me up with my family to see that I was selected among others. So I ended up with a good heart and a send-off with my teaching through the anesthetics department, which I loved so much, and theater training, because I trained in nursing, in ear, nose, and throat, and I trained in gynecology and Brompton. I was the first Ugandan nurse to train at Brompton Hospital, thoracic and tuberculosis. So I'm quite willing for anybody who wants information and reference when I'm still talking and when I'm still alive. Thank you very much. This is my nursing journey.